Connor's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond with yet another Degrassi Unpopular Opinions video. This is number 6 in the series. The first one was about the students of Degrassi not taking Emma's cause to be about domestic violence, more about beating the crap out of Rick. Second one was about Paige and Mr. O's relationship. Third was about Emma wanting to be with Sean after the shooting, despite what people thought. Fourth is about Emma being mad about Manny in season 6 after JT got stabbed, how Manny deserted her and all that. And also, another unpopular opinion is, did Degrassi have to use a bus crash to speed up Maya's downfall and second depression, if you will? Well, this one's going to be a little bit different. This one is going to be about the redemption storylines. Everyone has a redemption storyline. There's some great redemption storylines. Do note that I plan on doing a top 10 redemption storylines list and rank them based on my thinking. Of course, everyone will agree or disagree. And basically, well, we'll see what happens. So, an unpopular opinion, and I think this counts as an unpopular opinion, is about Spinner and how his redemption arc was the best. A lot of people will probably disagree, but here's why Spinner's has to be number 1, in a sense. Now, as you know, Spinner was a troubled kid and all that. He had relationships at the wazoo. He had one with, not with Terry, with Paige. Spinner unfortunately saw Terry McGregor injured and all that, and Rick having blood on his hands. So basically, they try to chase after Rick. Rick leaves the school under his own power. Then basically, with Rick gone, Paige and Spinner, they kind of blame themselves for why they didn't get Terry to open up sooner, but I don't think it's Terry's fault whatsoever. Oh, this is the essence of taping, because the stupid sun has ruined my shirt and all that, but that's okay. So anyway, yeah, so Spinner, wants to beat up on Rick. He tries to beat up Rick and basically tells Rick, why aren't you at the hospital? Terry's at the hospital and all that. And basically, Mrs. Murray basically tells Spinner not to be around her son anymore. Well, basically, yeah, Spinner had a good point. Then Spinner is with Paige, and, they have to deal with Paige's rape and all that. And Spinner's car can be damaged next to Paige. So Paige basically does all that. And then Spinner has to see Rick have the audacity to come back to Degrassi. No strings attached, as it were. And basically, by the time that stands still happens, it's basically him, Jimmy, Alex, and Jay who are going to try to torment Rick into leaving Degrassi. I know that the students also didn't want Rick back, but they didn't torment him in a way. Of course, Spinner was with Jimmy when they dumped Rick into a dumpster, and then basically Rick decided to retaliate and all of that. So basically, Rick had a plan, because his retaliation was basically a plot to tell Spinner and the rest of them, basically, why are you tormenting me? How would you like it if someone tormented you? But the effect didn't work for Rick. It just made Spinner and the group standard rise up. Of course, Spinner is upset, and then Spinner and Jay are mostly upset because Jimmy now has switched sides. Rick has smooth-talked Jimmy into switching sides. And so basically, Spinner and Jay come up with the plan to paint and feather Rick during Whack Your Brain and all that with Alex's assistance. They pull it off. Spinner and Jay do the right thing in their minds and basically tell Rick everything is cool. But of course, as we all know, they're just bullshitting. So anyway, Yeah, Rick gets paid and feathered and all that. Spitter does the stupid thing and confesses his crime to Jimmy, but basically he laughs at it, saying that I'm not going to get in trouble for that. Spitter laughs it off, but, karma bit him in the butt. And of course, Spitter was going to meet Radish for a 3:30 talk, but that was in the deleted scenes. That would have made much more sense if they put it in, because people would think that when Spitter says Radish knows and all that. I know that, honestly, that was supposed to be the line that basically Jimmy would probably tattle on him. But if you look at the deleted scene and then you look at the real scene, it's like Radish knows, because basically he's going to have a talk with Spitter for 3:30. But did Spitter tell Jay about the 3:30 talk? Who knows? So anyway, so Spitter and Jay basically talk about how Jimmy set the whole thing up. Well, of course, Jay was the one who convinced Spitter to tattle on Jimmy. Basically, when they see the painted feathers and no Ritz in the stall, they basically talk about how Jimmy set everything up. It was a plot to get Jimmy back on their side, in a sense. But it all went for shit, as they didn't realize Rick brought a gun to the school and almost went after Paige. And then, brought the gun in his locker. So, of course, Spitter realizes Jimmy got shot, and then he also puts two and two together and figures that Rick had a gun the whole time, and he was going to, and he shot Jimmy because we told him the truth. We told him a lie. Basically, Spitter wants to confess everything, but Jay says, you won't. And you won't be Jimmy's best friend. Either outcome. If he's dead, obviously you can't be your best friend because he's dead. But if he survives and all that, I don't think he would care about you. Jay was right about that. And Spitter was racked with guilt. I mean, Spitter could have went to the hospital at least once or twice. Even for like a few minutes. To alleviate his guilt. But of course, Eye of the Tiger happens. Jimmy's back at the school. And Spitter says he'll do anything to help Jimmy out and all that. Of course, Spitter doesn't tip his hand, saying what happened to Jimmy was partially Spitter's fault. Spitter does a great job in helping Jimmy out. And even helps him give him MVP of the basketball team. And Jimmy says that, I want to try again on my own merit. But Jimmy faces facts and says he won't be out of the wheelchair anytime soon. Spitter does everything to calm Jimmy down. It's just like, why would Jimmy say the fact that I just wish Rick had better aim? You don't mean that. Like, that's insulting in a sense. Jimmy probably, his mental state was, I'm a jock, and now it's gone. Not realizing that there is wheelchair basketball, and that's been wheelchair basketball for years and years and frickin' years, and what the heck are you doing? So anyway, Spitter thinks that Jimmy deserves to know the truth. And so he does. Unfortunately, the school decides to blackball Spitter. And Spitter is upset. Jay doesn't help matters by basically getting drunk with Spitter. And Spitter tells Jimmy off while drunk. Spitter could have told Jimmy off while sober. And it would have not really made a difference. So Spitter gets drunk and tries to tell at Jimmy. But no one wants to listen. Jimmy basically tells Spitter the truth that the only reason why Spitter helped Jimmy was to alleviate his guilt over the fact that he put Jimmy in a wheelchair. All that. And Jimmy probably says, you thought that telling me the whole truth was going to help things out? I think that's what he meant. I thought Jimmy's like, I'm like, Spitter had to tell the truth, Jimmy, because if it came out otherwise, Spitter would be in trouble with the law. Spitter does the right thing by basically going to Hatzelackles and telling her about how he bullied Rick and how the paint and feathers was his idea. And he also gives Jay what for and basically outs Jay as a co-conspirator. I think that was on purpose. I think because if Jay hadn't been so stupid and basically tell Spitter and Alex to keep their mouth shut, Spitter probably would have never told Jay. But basically, Spitter told on Jay also because, Jay was the one who set up Jimmy to be shot at by Rick because, Spitter wasn't really going along with it, and then he went along with it because Jay pushed him around. So, of course, Spinner gets expelled for everything zero tolerance policy. First time that Degrassi really did that. I think that the zero tolerance policy was basically a punishment for Degrassi to deal with because of Rick Murray's situation. Spinner comes back a few episodes later, but he wants to take the same courses and graduate on time. But all Hatzelackles can do is give him summer courses. He feels pissed off and no one wants to talk to him, so he decides to burn the school. And Jay, of all people, stops him, basically saying that, it's not worth it. This is not how you get your friends back. And Spinner takes the summer school courses. Good for him. So season 5 comes along. He's allowed to come back to Degrassi. I think Hatzelackles knew that he was going through a lot and basically, figures that, Spinner will have to take some heat, but basically she'll help him out. Of course, Jay doesn't take the same deal because Jay basically said that the school wanted to make Spinner a scapegoat and they couldn't find anyone to be a scapegoat. Obviously, they couldn't, in a sense, because the major scapegoat was Raditch, and he was out the door anyway, so basically they had to find someone else. So anyway, Spinner goes to the school and meets a girl named Darcy. We saw her in season 4 being kissed by Rick, but season 5, Spinner meets up with Darcy in the Friendship Club and decides to go to the Christian Club. Obviously, he tells Darcy the truth that he inadvertently got his friend Jimmy shot and all that. But Darcy stays by him, and basically Darcy says, God will help you out. Spinner goes to a retreat with Darcy. Jay tags along. Spinner basically lashes out at Jay, saying that, why did I have to be friends with you? It's because of you that Jimmy got shot. I should never listen to you. And then basically he tells Darcy, he said, why would God want to be with somebody like me who had my best friend shot? And Darcy said, he loves you. God loves you no matter what. And so basically Spinner, with Darcy's help, basically gets everyone to like him again. Even Jimmy, at the end of season 5, decides to finally talk to Spinner, and they become friends again. And Spinner and Jimmy don't screw each other over. Of course, Spinner and Jimmy had to fail a grade. Spinner because of his expulsion, and Jimmy because of his physical therapy, and Hatzelackles made the awkward decision to leave him back a year. So basically, Spinner and Jimmy are together, and they graduate together, in a sense. I think Jimmy does graduate somehow. I mean, why would he be at prom if he wasn't going to graduate? So yeah, I think Spinner's redemption arc was great because it took place in multiple seasons, and Spinner had to go from the ground floor up to the top in redemption, and he took it seriously. He got help because of Darcy. Yeah, I think Spinner's redemption arc is one of the best ever. It's the best ever. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great redemption arcs. There's like who has a redemption arc? Maybe Zoe has Zoe might have a redemption arc. There's a lot of them. I know a couple of redemption arcs that were abandoned, and that was Lucas. Lucas probably would have had one of the best redemption arcs ever because of Lucas being a piece of crap, and then basically, after realizing that his dad molested Jane, he decides to stand up for Jane and protect his daughter because he's afraid that Jane's dad's going to go after Isabella because she's a young girl too. So basically, Lucas blames himself and says, I should have helped, but Jane said, we were little kids, and you're here now. That's better than nothing. So Jay and Spinner. So Spinner's was the best ever. I know there was other redemption arcs out there that probably were better, but fight me on that. So anyway, that's all I got for this Unpopular Opinions video. I hope you enjoyed it, and there'll be more coming in